Begin Podfix Network transmission. In 3, 2, 1.
You're fly fishing in a stream, getting those ankles wet, or deep in the ocean, casting nets. Fish nerds. Fish nerds. Fish nerds. It's a podcast.
It is a podcast. Hello, Clay Groves here. Happy Thanksgiving. It's just about 12:30 right now on Thanksgiving Day here in the United States. And you can have anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. Just heard that on the radio. Made my day. What also makes my day is you. I am thankful that you have tuned in to the Fish Nerds again. It's something I've been doing for, almost 10 years now. And it's not a show that we make money on. We dream about that, but I don't actively try to make money from the show. I do it because I love talking to you about fish, fishing, and eating fish. But I do want to, on this episode, I am going to play you some fishing tips. But I also want to thank our subscribers on Patreon. It really is the only money we have coming in. And without Patreon subscribers, we would not have a podcast, because that does cost, because we're doing it so long, it does cost us a little bit of money every month to keep it going, and it's not without a good effort to keep it going for you, and a good amount of money at that. And so I appreciate all the Patreon supporters. I'm going to thank them by name at the end of this episode. So if you want to listen in for your name, you can do that. If you want to go to Patreon, just go to Patreon and look for Fish Nerds, and you will find us on there. And we ask everyone, if you think this is worth $5 a month for your entertainment value, drop $5 in the bucket. It's that easy. But today, we have a special National Podcast Posting Month posting for Thanksgiving Day by listener David Redden. He runs the Fishing Southern Maryland YouTube channel, someone I follow on the tubes, Fishing Southern Maryland. I will put a link in the show notes. I highly recommend you subscribe to his channel. He knows a lot of stuff, and he's going to talk about fishing for stocked trout. So let's get him up, and then I will say your name on Patreon. We'll do that for you. Here's David.
Hello, Fish Nerd Nation. This is David Redden from the Fishing Southern Maryland YouTube channel, and I'm calling in my fishing tip to let you know how I try to catch put and take trout. Hatchery-raised fish are used to eating pellet-style food. So a lot of people will go out there and use those trout nuggets or power bait, that gooey stuff. I see it beside the actual pond where I'm standing right now. We as anglers enjoy using worms, fake worms, live worms. It doesn't matter. That's what we enjoy using. The bait that takes both of those to the next level is the power bait by Berkley mouse tail. It's got a foam ball that looks like a pellet or a salmon's egg, and it's got a 2.5-inch worm on it that looks like that little fake worm. I usually put those on a size 10 egg hook or some sort of a circle hook. I then suspend that underneath of a piece of tin split shot, because we all know that lead is dead and we shouldn't be using it. And then I cast it out into a deep pool, and I wait to see my line move. Once I see the line move, I start to reel in slowly. That circle hook usually catches in the side of their mouth, and that's when a fish is on. Get out there, try them. If you haven't done so, follow me on YouTube for other fishing tips, and have a great day, Fish Nerd Nation.
And please, subscribe to David's YouTube channel, Fishing Southern Maryland. He's been supporting the Fish Nerds probably from the beginning. I feel like I saw him on Twitter like way back in 2011 or something like that. He's old, so that's how that goes. All right. So I want to do now is Thanksgiving. I do want to thank you, Patreon supporters. I'm going to just say your names by name and thank you personally. Sparky Jackson, best name in fish, and thank you so much. David Dumescarochu, I can't pronounce it. Thank you, David. Ryan Gorman, you're a hero. James German, thank you for having an easy name. Matthew Clinsmith, appreciate you, really do. Chuck Hobble, thank you for your donation. Darren Radcliffe, you're great. James Paul McNeil also giving us some money. Brian Barber. Knitting Daddy Greg, my friend Greg, who runs a knitting podcast. Kevin Jones, who was in a show just yesterday, day before. I can forget now. This month's been going by so fast. Kate, with no last name. Thank you, Kate. And then Dave Williamson. Olaf Nelson, been donating for years, I think. Yeah, for a very long time. Chandler Dobson. Mark Piper, who I've talked to and know his name and can't get it right today. Mark's been with us for a very long time as well. Christopher Englert, appreciate you. Mike O'Keefe, thank you. John Soundboard, what a cool name. Oh, it's called John's Soundboard. It's like ownership of the soundboard. Chad O'Leary, thank you. Mike Steffen, friend of mine, winner of the 2019 Great Rotary Ice Fishing Derby here in New Hampshire. Alan Byrne, thank you. Renegade Clock, I think is a podcast, thank you. Courtney D, thank you. Anthony DiPolito, fun name to say. Jonathan Sutter, like it. B.A. Metz, my friend Bethany. Sean Bradbury, giving us a little bit of money. Ed Hind, giving us some money. Rich Collins, our fishing fly fishing correspondent, gives us some money. How about Andrew Lewin, also tossing some money in the bucket. Kevin Kupzik, thank you so much. Reed Sutter, awesome. Fish Guy Josh, like him. Big Buck Registry, Big Buck Podcast. David Redden, who you heard on this week's show. Ray Layton from England, my best friend from high school, also used to be my juggling partner. Lindsay Freeman, Jeff Danielson, the effing librarian. Ryan with no last name, and my mother-in-law too, Suzanne Nelson, even giving us money. Thank you, everybody, so much, and happy Thanksgiving. You can have anything you want at Alice's restaurant.
Fishing in a stream, getting those ankles wet, or deep in the ocean, casting nets. Fish nerds. Fish nerds. Fish nerds. It's a podcast.
Just for the halibut!
Fried in a basket or broiled in a pan. Eat it raw like you're in Siam. Fish nerds. Fish nerds. Fish nerds. It's a podcast.